And we just started the recording, by the way. So I'm here, to explain you what we do, who we are, and to answer all your questions. Today is a specific session where you can answer all the questions you want. So do not hesitate to use the Q&A section in order to ask all the questions. And Irina, I invite you, just to interrupt me if we have very interesting and accurate questions on the slides we are currently presenting. Okay, I usually start this presentation by giving you a kind of a snapshot of IUM mission because it's important following the mission and reading the mission. We know exactly what we are, in fact. So first of all, the mission starts by IUM Educate, and we can stop with this keyword, which is education's IUM model is a higher education and institutions where our professors are here first to teach and then to do research. It's important. The research is here to nourish the class, but the main activity of the professor is to teach. It's very important and to take care of the students. This is part of our model. The second important keyword is that we are here to develop your skills, the student skills, to become responsible future business leader in an international framework. That's in a nutshell what we do. Responsible includes a lot of transversal skills linked to ethics, sustainability, CSR, and all these concepts that today are completely unavoidable. We are human scale institutions, we can say. We have around 1,000 students here in the facilities, very international profile. We will see in details, but it's very, very, very international. And we foster entrepreneurial spirit, multicultural awareness, working by doing experiential learning. These are our key elements, let's say, in terms of pedagogy. Of course, our full-time professors are researchers. We have around 30 full-time professors active in research and publishing in ranked journal, peer-reviewed ranked journal. We are part of a group which is called Omnes Education. It's a big, higher education institution in France and at the international level as well. Interesting with various locations that we can use for our students as campuses, out of Monaco. And finally, we are in Monaco, which is maybe one of our main assets. Monaco being, the principality where we are the only higher education institutions, and that attracts a lot of people. Mainly, let's say, maybe for you, it's because of the prince, the palace, and the principality itself. Our vision is more, the 5,000 businesses concentrated in 2 square kilometers. That's as well something which is interesting for a business school in the environment. The pedagogy and the philosophy, it's really to have the students working, together collaboratively and in an international framework, working in groups with people coming from the other side of the world, and then, learning how to, behave in this environment. Very important. We have a good balance between the theory and the practice because we have 30 full-time professors and more than 120 adjunct professors. Those adjunct professors are practitioners coming, from the business world to teach a class here at IUM, but bringing with them, what they did yesterday in their real life. And they are teaching the subjects usually they are doing in their professional life. So that's quite interesting because it gives, a good balance between, full-time professor researchers that will bring maybe what they are, doing as well a bit in research, or bringing at least this, latest knowledge concept that could be normally applied in the business in 5 years or 10 years. And in parallel, we have those practitioners that are, really in class with the let's say real life experience. That's important. Multicultural learning is in the class per se, in the institution naturally. Classrooms at IUM are organized around, let's say, 40 to 50 seats. So we have in each group I usually 20 different nationality in one classroom. That's foster, a lot of interaction and a lot of learning for the students as well. Last point is active learning. We are trying to organize, the study in order to put the students in front of the reality, trying to have them, becoming autonomous, trying to have them, developing a lifelong learning concept, trying to ask them to anticipate, to be a bit proactive. So this is a big challenge that we are trying to transversally put into our educational philosophy. Finally, we are a human scale institution. That means that the students are, at the center of the attention. We, try to take the time to all the students that needs help, support, discussions for them. So we are really here at the service of the student. That's why we put this individual attention. And finally, the motto is experiential education, learning by doing, because we do a lot of projects. Of course, we have a class in class and exams, but a lot of, component of the grading is made on real life examples, real life case study, real project, maybe for real company that are coming because the practitioner will bring in class maybe clients as well. If we continue, a little summary about the institution itself. We were created in 1986. We have a portfolio of programs that ranges from the bachelor to the doctorate with specialized master and an MBA. The recognized is recognized by the government here in Monaco and is recognized worldwide. In terms of student population, we are hosting 1,000 students here in the facilities, which regroups more than 70 nationalities, no dominant nationalities. Naturally, we have a bit more French, about 20%, and Italians, 18%. But then the third nationality are American, United States, and then we have Canadian as well. So it is very international. And then we have Eastern Europe population. We are used to say that the campus of IUM is the country of Monaco because the facilities we have here, you see it in the slide. It's a very nice building, very well situated, next to the station exit. So that's perfect to commute. But in fact, it contains classrooms and offices for the faculty and administration. We don't have, a swimming pool, a stadium, but we have here in Monaco several swimming pools available for our students. We have, a lot of tennis courts available as well. And Monaco itself is the campuses that includes as well some beaches as well when summer is nice. So the campus is the country itself. Of course, the only common denominator is English. So all classes here are taught in English. The alumni population is 4,500 now, alumni around. And there are over more than 100 various countries because we have always been very international. So it's very connected alumni network that we have, and we are very lucky about that. And it's one of our first, let's say, contact channel for our students that would like to develop, I don't know, a career in the other side of the world. The first contact is to speak with the alumni we know them. We have two accreditation body, an international accreditation called AMBA for the MBA program, and we have as well the AACSB accreditation for the entire portfolio of diploma that we have here at IUM. We are ranked as well, ranked in the Economist, the last ranking of the Economist. We were top 50 MBA in the world. There is 5,000 MBA in the world, so top 50 is not bad at all for a small and young institution as ours. And we were as well ranked 35 in another ranking for the MBA program as well. So the portfolio of program, we are going to focus on the bachelor just after. So let's try to describe bachelor, let's say is the foundation, let's say program. We have a bit of specialization coming at the end of the program at the bachelor at the third year. But then really the common, foundation is the bachelor. It's widened. And then we have the masters, which are specialized. And the specialization of the institution here in Monaco is in line with the country itself. So we have a specialization in luxury management with three various trade, let's say, luxury brand management, fashion and accessories, and hospitality, which is, in fact, what we see here in Monaco in terms of luxury industry. We have master in finance. You know, finance is a very active industry in Monaco with more than 90 institutions in the 2 square kilometers. So of course, we have master in finance, more towards, you know, private equity, private banking, asset management. You see here the 4 specializations we have. In the 4 specializations, we have one is an apprenticeship master in finance over 2 years. And another one, you know, includes a semester in London. So it's over 3 terms of class plus 1 term of internship. And one being in London, in one of the campus of Oneness Education Group that we use as our extended classroom. And then finally, we have a master in sport business management, another one in international management, and the last one in sustainable innovation and management. So these masters, you know, are the normal flow for bachelor students to continue after the bachelor. The bachelor is 3 years. The master is, most of the master are organized around 10 months of class plus 6 months internship. So over 16 to 18 months of class, you have the master degree. And the step after is the doctorate of business administration. We have the DBA program over 3 years, which is like a PhD, but it's a DBA. It's more applied to business subject. That's the program. At IUM, we are running other, particularly executive education and summer schools as well here at IUM. So we are welcoming professionals. We are delivering for bankers the certification required by the industry here in Monaco to all the bankers that are working in Monaco. Irina, do we have some questions about, let's say, the general introduction before we dig into the program? You are muted, Irina, sorry.
Sorry. So yes, we have actually already we have a question regarding the professional career and what are the opportunities for students here at the IUM, how we can help students to find their professional path, and actually how we can put them in contact with future employers.
So this question, maybe we will answer it when we will discuss a bit about the Career Center. We have a full department, which is called the Corporate Relation Department, including a Career Center with coaches and people dedicated to having, you know, the students and the company in contact each other. And they are doing a lot of things, but I think we have a slide dedicated on that just after.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Patrice.
Okay, so I continue with the bachelor because here it's all about bachelor. We are going to have a look at the program. First of all, we have a 2 degree in the bachelor. We have a BBA, which is a 3-year degree in 3 years. And we have a honors track, which is a 4-year bachelor degree that we deliver here at IUM, which is the equivalent of 120 US credit, which is the format of the bachelor when you go to study in America. Specificity we have here is that we do this bachelor in 3 years, in fact, and it is a 4-year bachelor degree. So we call it honors track because it's dedicated to students that have a very good grade and that want to study a bit more and more intensively in order to reach in 3 years this 4-year degree. So they will save 1 year of tuition fees if they go to study in the United States after. Another specificity of IUM is that we have 2 intakes, one intake in September and another one in January. Okay, so that's another specificity. But whether the students will start in September or start in January, they will all finish their first year during the summer and become a second year in September after. So that's interesting for the students that maybe took a gap term or started something that maybe did not suit them particularly in other institutions or other type of studies. And then they are, they have the possibility to join early September, early January, and then make up the lost time. It is exactly the same program. We have the subject, whether it starts in September or in January, it's organized around 18 weeks of class, 2 hours per subject. But one starts in September, there is a Christmas break, there is a fall break, there is a winter break. And those that start in January, but they don't have the Christmas break because it's after Christmas. They still have the winter break, but that's all. And the 18 weeks fits till end of July, end of June for the class. So it's exactly the same program that makes all the first year students starting in September their second year. You see the subject for this first year foundation year are quite, let's say, standard. In fact, it's really what we call the foundation year, where we are going to homogenize everybody's knowledge. We have students coming from really a lot of various diploma, whether they are from Asia, America, Europe, IB or public schools. There is a lot of, let's say, discrepancies between their background. So we start from, let's say, the minimum requirement in order to bring everybody at the same level. Some will have to push a bit more in quantitative subjects. Some will have to, discover accounting. Some other may have already, a kind of clue of what is marketing or management, but some never saw about anything about that. So that's why we try to homogenize to have the first year, when they finish, they have all more or less the same level of knowledge. And they all, let's say, can succeed, that's why we start from the bottom. So we have 9 subjects in black in these slides, 2 hours per week for each of the subjects. That means 18 hours of class. You can choose a language if you want, so you may have 20 hours of class per week. And that's over 18 weeks of class. There is as well a final exam on top of it, and then some online asynchronous component for the autonomous learning component. But that's the normal framework of a week. It's 18 to 20 hours of class. And then we have this blue line, which is the experiential learning, where we are going, to ask the students to do things, which includes some certification about sustainability, some social engagement in the community for companies or for associations as well, hands-on experience in order to engage themselves, but as well on the same time to discover and to exchange with the community around here in Monaco, and that allow the students to meet people doing those activities. Whether some of activities we meet business angels because there is a business plan competition organized by Junior Economic Chamber here in Monaco. Other activity will be maybe to help for fundraising organized by a big association in Monaco, which is organized and managed by people living here and working here. So this is other type of contacts that can have, and so on and so on. So that's for the first year. Do we have questions about this particular first year?
Yes, we have a question regarding, I would say, normal students' day. How could you describe a daily routine day? And is it possible to get some job during the first year of study? What do you think about it?
Okay, so the typical first week of class for a first year student is, as we said, to have 20 hours of course. The university is open from 8:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock in the evening, including Saturday morning, where we are open till 2 o'clock. For the moment, there is the possibility of having class every day during the week. The idea is to structure a bit the student, let's say, schedule around a minimum of 4 days out of the 6 days we are open, to free up at least 2 half day completely to allow student work, group work, student meeting themselves. And to have and if you start at 8:30, usually you finish at the beginning of the afternoon. And if you finish at 7:30 or 8 in the evening, you start, a bit later, lunchtime normally. To answer the question about can we have a job, you can have a student job. If your status authorize that, of course, it depends on your visa, if you're European, Schengen, non-Schengen. But you can have student job. What I will try to, let's say, not foster is to be full-time employed in a business, because you won't have time to do a full-time job or even a part-time job in a business. But there is companies around where you can have a student job with flexible hours, because sometimes we may have conferences that are organized when there is no class. So if when you have no class, you organize your job, and then we organize, a conference or a trip or, visiting a company, and then you cannot come or you have to miss your job. So you need a bit of flexibility in the way you are working. But with 20 hours of class, there is normally 20 additional hours of personal work per week, let's say 15 if you are a quick learner. So there is, because there is the weekend, quite a lot of time to have, 10, 15 hours part-time student job around here, working in a restaurant, working in a supermarket or in a library, something like that outside the university. Okay.
Thank you very much, Patrice. Yes, we can. I think we can go move forward. Yeah.
So we move forward. We finish the first year. An important item at the end of the first year is to do an internship. So that's again the core career center that will help you finding your internship, organizing, your, let's say, profile to be employable. Internship, as you can see in the slide, are available during the 2 summer. Those 2 summer internship are optional. And there is a third internship, which is compulsory at the end of the third year. Okay. During the second year, the theme of the second year is deepening functional knowledge and international experience. So that means that during this second year, you will go abroad. That's the idea. And it's really part of the pedagogy and the curriculum and the experience we expect. You came here to Monaco, and for a lot of you, you came from far, and I do agree. And you spend 1 year in Monaco, you can, go abroad for either 1 term or 1 full year into other university. That puts you out of your comfort zone, that helps you accommodate and organize yourself, throughout something even new and sometimes a bit surprising. I don't know that Monaco is very easy and very nice, but it is the case. And sometimes, you are not out of your comfort zone because the environment, whether it's in the institution or around the institution, is very friendly. And sometimes to grow up, you have to be a bit confronted to the reality. So you will go abroad, and that will help you, organizing yourself to find an apartment and to, organize your life. So the first option we have is to have the second year international. So that means that you will go abroad 2 terms, either in one of our Omnes campuses or 2, or 1 term in one of our Omnes campuses, and another term in one of our partner institutions. You can go abroad 1 term and come back to Monaco in January, or you stay in Monaco from September to December and you go abroad in January. So that's the options we have for you. Of course, when you are here at Monaco, you have specific classes that we organized. And if you are going abroad, we organize the equivalent for one of the 2 terms in our Omnes campuses that we welcome you. So you see here in the slide the various partner we have. These partners include, partners that are ICSB accredited university where we have a body-to-body student exchange agreement. That means we can send, for example, in Vancouver, 4 students a year, 2 in fall, 2 in spring, and we will receive 4 students from them, at IUM in Monaco. But we have as well some campuses like London, Barcelona, Paris, Geneva, and Munich, where we have Omnes group. And this Omnes group, has schools there where we can, open a class and send our students, for a term or 1 year in London, Paris, Barcelona, Geneva, and Munich. So this is another option you have. It's a bit easier because it's our family. And you see, we have partners as well in Southeast Asia. So that's the list of university. We cover something like 20 countries with 34 different partners. So this is a shortcut here on the slide. You see the name. Most of the partner ICS accredited or part of the Omnis group. And sometimes it's very, very interesting to discover a country. Strategically, we explain to our students that if you target, to work in Asia in your life, doing the study abroad in one of the Asian partner we have is good because they will have a career center there. They will put you in contact with professionals, and you will start to get to know if this is what you like. In fact, that's the plan. So after having done the second year, we are going to jump to the third year. Maybe to finish with the second year, there is no additional tuition fees to pay. You pay your tuition fees at your home institution, and you don't pay the tuition fee at the host institution. That's the concept of body-to-body partnering. So we don't have to you don't have to pay the fees where you go. And when it's in the United States, it's very interesting for you to pay IUM fees, spending one term in, one of our partners we have there. After your second year, you do an internship during the summer, which is optional, and you come back to IUM for your third year. Okay. The third year is around specialization. You choose, your specialization in order to have, let's say, an idea about what you would like to do, and then you go and you do an internship in the second term in the specialization field in order to consolidate and to validate the fact that you like this in this industry or this discipline, or you don't like. So we have 2 core courses, which is business simulation and business strategy. And then we have 4 classes in each of the specialization: global business management, communication and event management, luxury, marketing, sales and services. We have a sport management, a finance, international finance one, digital business development, which is interesting because this digital business development specialization includes a lot of tech for students that would like to work, in the tech industry. Getting to know a bit more, the hands-on experience on the technology itself, data management, machine learning, artificial intelligence, programming. So they do a really practical activities in this specialization. And the last one is tourism and hospitality in the luxury industry. So this is the normal third year, 1 term of specialization, 1 term of internship. And we have a final option here, which is called the apprenticeship track, Monaco Banking and Financial Services. In this track, third year students will work for 1 year in a bank, 3 days a week, and they will study, 2 days a week. So it's Monday to Wednesday in the bank and Thursday, Friday here at IUM in class, either with the other students that are doing, for example, international finance, or on their own because they will have specific classes. This apprenticeship track has a specificity because the banking industry in Monaco is speaking French most of the time, at least inside the bank. With the clients, you speak a lot of languages in Monaco, but in the bank, the working language is French, so French is needed. for this Monaco banking and financial services. So that's as well a specificity of this program. After 1 year, you will be graduated with the BBA, you know, but having done this track in apprenticeship. That's the overview of the 3 years. First year, we have 2 intake, but exactly the same structure of the program, whether you start in September or in January. Everybody finishes in summer. Okay, the September finishes quite early in the term, so they have more time to do an internship. Second year, you go abroad, either 1 term or 1 year. And the third year, you do a specialization and you do your internship. Do we have questions about the structure of the program before going into, you know, this career center to answer the questions that were raised before?
Actually, yes, we have a question regarding the procedure of this choice of the partner's university, how it's work, and what are the main criteria for students.
So, you see in this slide that the study abroad option is chosen by the students during the first year, you know. Usually it comes in February because we need them to nominate them in the other institutions. So the way we do it is that we ask the students to raise 5 wishes. So they have 5 schools that they can choose in the order of preference, of course. And within these 5 choice, they have to choose one campus of Omnes: Paris, London, Barcelona, Geneva, and Munich. At the end of the February week, we have more or less finalized the midterms of you know, both intakes, and we have grades. We are going to compile the average for each student at the mid of the year and rank them, you know, from the best average to the worst average. And we start by the first, and we give the first choice to the first student. And then we go down the list and we give the second and the third choice according to the availability, the remaining availability. Last 2 years, in fact, we had 75% or 80% of the students that went to their first or second choice. So the system for the moment is working well. We will then inform you about your destination end of February, beginning of March. And then there is a department here at IUM that is organizing all that. And they are sending your nomination, we call it a nomination, to the partner institutions. Sometimes it's quite early, it's March for America. So we need to send the name in the American partner in March. For other institutions, we have a bit more time. And then the university will validate our choice. Normally, we have an agreement. We know their requirement. We know what are their limits. So we address normally the right name that with the profile that matches. And then the university, usually they accept our students because we do a pre-selection and the nomination in the right way. And then the student receive, you know, the application to fill in. And then the last step is at the student level to complete the application, and then we work with the students on the course choice, because some institutions have predefined program for the exchange, and some of the institutions they allow students to choose courses in a list. And then this is where we work a bit with them to choose, you know, adequately. So we do a bit of counseling sessions with the students, because it depends on what they want to do, and we can address, you know, the level of the class as well to see if the requirements and the prerequisites are there for them to succeed in the class or not. So then there is a kind of counseling sessions. That's all. Some partner university have dorms, so they will propose to the students to stay in the campus. Of course, then they have to pay for that. And some of other partner university may have, in-town housing, or some students will have to choose their own apartment in town. That depends on the institution and on the bachelor and on the profile of the institution and the country. Do we have questions on that?
No, thank you. For the moment, it's okay. We can move forward. Thank you, Patrice.
So this is the slide that I explained at the beginning. We have a career center because for us, the internship and the relations with companies are very important. Definitely, the career center is not here to, assure that students will have an internship, but they are working on shaping the profile of the students to, teach them, train them to find an internship and give them the opportunities as well, because we receive a lot of internship offers as well, but they are not here to find the internship for the students. You see the team, it's quite consequence. We have people in charge of the student engagement. We have people in charge of alumni relations. We have people in charge of coaching the students. Marine is the head, and we have a lot of coaches by sector, in fact. We have a lot of possibility, but we already covered it. And what they do at the career services, they do career counseling with the coaches or individually with people that are here all the time. They do organize in-class seminars. They help the students with the coach or with individual counseling session to set the career goal objective and maybe the path. And in some of the seminars they are organizing are, for example, how did I reach this kind of job? Alumni coming to speak with our students, explaining, how they find their path in the last 5 years to reach where they are now. So they are working as well on their LinkedIn profile. They are working on their resume, individually with the coach. They are defining and developing their self-selling techniques. We have a lot of seminars about how to negotiate a salary, how to say no, and things like that, to prepare them, in this recruitment process. We have business days here at IUM. And sorry about that. I don't know if you hear my computer buzzed. We have business days. These business days are organized with a company coming to IUM. For example, we have the Bachelor Talent Day for third year Bachelor in October. Students will meet, something like 30 companies here at IUM. They are coming here on purpose to explain a bit their industry, what they are doing, what are the problems they are facing, and what kind of profile they are going to look for. And then there is a mock interview that are taking place. Students put their CVs in front of each company. Company chooses the profile that they find the most adequate, and then they do interview the students. And sometimes, and even all the times, they sign internship agreement for their compulsory internship for the third year to finish their studies. So this is one of the things they are organizing. They are organizing a lot of other activity, networking activity, mainly, to have the students in contact with the professional and to have the students becoming aware of the reality, of the business world around. So that's quite important. And of course, last but not least, we receive internship offers every week, and every Friday afternoon they receive, a list of job offers, whether they are in first year or in the last year. It's a big list that students can investigate. So that's the job of the career services here at IUM. I hope it answered the questions, but if there is additional questions linked to this activity particularly, which is outside of class, of course, do not hesitate. No questions, Irina?
For the moment, I can cite additional questions. So, could you please give some examples of the most popular spheres or companies where your students get job after graduation?
Oh, it depends on the sector, but we can name, big brands because they are here, they come to recruit. So we can say that we have students working in the Formula One industry. We have students working in Cartier, in all these luxury brand. Well, mainly if you want to work in the head office, you need to go to the Paris or Milan. Of course, you need to be mobile. In the finance industry or in the consulting industry, we have the big names as well. Finance industry well represented here in Monaco. So Monaco absorbed, for example, a lot of our master in finance here in big banks that mainly private bank. We have the Rothschild, Barclays, those big names. And we have as well, students working for fast-moving consumer goods company as well. Hospitality, luxury hospitality, again, big brands with stars, in the event industry, mainly for the hospitality, it's working there. So this is what I can say. We can say that we have special days where Ferrari comes to discuss with our students, and it ends up usually with 1 or 2 internship per year. And then we have, a special day for Chanel, for example, when they come, they are alone. And then when we have the business days, we have the big name in the yachting industry as well. There is a lot of students that are working in the yachting industry here, coming out from the luxury track.
Thank you very much, Patrice.
Okay, just to continue, we'll have a little word about the student life here in Monaco. It is managed by the students for the students, so we call it the Student Association, DSA. They are organized, around different sectors. First of all, they are organizing the sport life of IUM student with a sports team managed by captain student, and then they have their own budget, the captain, and then they are organizing the team for the entire year. And if they can practice and they can compete as well with other university if they want, just a question of organization and managing the budget. But on top of the sport activities, students develop societies, which are a bit more, specific to sector. We have a society for finance, luxury, automotive, and entrepreneurship. Those society regroup students that are passionate about a particular subject, and they are organizing, their life outside the university, conferences. They are organizing roundtables. They meet, people. They are organizing their own networking event in the industry because they are passionate and they want to discover a bit more. So it will complete what the Career Center already organized for them. It's quite interesting, this part. Of course, student life in Monaco, it's as well cultural and fun activity. So they are organizing the student party and then field trips, cultural event as well. We have a music club and we have a charity association as well, organized by the students, where they do, fundraising, a specific activity linked to charity, CSR, sustainability as well. So that was a little word about the student life organized by the students, working super well, very active. I think we have a vision of, only 20% of what they do, in fact. But yes, and they are doing that mainly in Monaco.
Actually, yes, this is a part about admission procedures and how you can apply for the BBA program at the IUM in Monaco. As Patrice already mentioned, we have 2 intakes, but in January and in September. But the procedure and the application process is quite the same for the both intake. I would like to underline that we are currently in the active phase of January intake. So the application platform is open and it will be open until 20th of December. So if you would like to join IUM in January and not to lose the year and to cover this gap you may have after some sabbatical or some, gap year. So don't hesitate and please contact us. So what do you have to do to apply for the BBA program? First of all, you go for the official site of the International University of Monaco, and you can see the big red button, apply online. So you will see specific questions, first of all, regarding your English level proficiency, and then your current level of studies. It's like some kind of eligibility. Then you will pass to the part of your personal profile creation. You will put all contact details, some basic information about your background, and then you have to upload the list of necessary documents. So for us, the most important at this stage is your high school diploma, if you already get it. If not, for example, if you are in the process of finalizing the last grade, so in this case, you will provide the transcript for the last 2 years of your studies. And if it's possible, you can add predicted grades. Then, of course, the motivational letter in English. And also, if you already have some certification of your English level proficiency, also please add these documents. If you are not yet passed any specific exams or tests, it's not a problem, because in this case we will schedule for you specific some kind of combined interview to assess not only to understand not only your motivation, but also to assess the level of your English proficiency. And to validate your dossier, to validate your documents, you have to pay €70. Like this, we will receive all your documents, and after checking all documents, we will come back to you to schedule a motivational interview. And the last stage of the admission process will be the admission jury commission. And actually, after, we will come back to you with the final conclusion. So as maximum from A to Z, the admission procedure could take up to 3 weeks, maximum 1 month in some, very tough period with exam sessions when we may have quite limited availability of our professors to organize an interview. But usually up to 2 weeks, it's like a normal period for the admission procedure. And regarding English tests, I would like to say that we are accepting 3 types of certifications. You can see TOEFL, IELTS, Cambridge, and also you can see the minimum acceptable level. And also you can waive this English assessment in case, of course, if you are a native speaker or if you already studied in English as minimum during 3 years. It's a common situation for students coming from international schools or schools following some international programs, as for example, IB, A-levels, etc. And actually, a few words about the motivational interview, how it's going, what type of questions you may meet. Actually, the main goal of this interview is to understand for our interviewers what is your general background, what kind of experience you may already have as, for example, international or practical experience, and then what are your professional goals, your aspirings, and how you would like to achieve these goals, and how we as a educational body, as a university, how we can help you. to realize your professional plans. This is the main, actually the main issues for the motivational interview.
Thank you, Irina.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just see a question, so I jump in. Sorry, but this is the way we have questions and we answer on the fly. The question that was, how strict is the admission? Do we need to have very high grade at high school to enter the University of Monaco? So it's a good question. The motivational interview, you know, it's really not really speaking about your grade. It's more speaking about your profile, what you do outside. And the grade is really assessed on the file, on the paper you send us. And to be honest, we are looking at both. We can say an equal weight. The quality of your academic is important, definitely, but the quality of your you know, profile is as important. We don't have students with bad grade here at IUM. The average for the IB, for example, is 32, if I am not mistaken. And for, you know, normal bachelor, French baccalaureate, for example, we say we have a mention assez bien, which is honors, you know, the minimum honors. So we are not looking only for, you know, the top grades, even if we have a lot of very good students. But it's important as well that what you are doing outside the university, how you will be, you know, let's say, a leader or an ID generator or, you know, a driver for the students in some activities, how you can help us as well. It is as important as the grade. But of course, the grades count. And we cannot say we have students that are, you know, borderline here at IUM. We have only students that have, you know, kind of good standing, very good standing. Okay.
Thank you, Patrice, and thank you for your questions, guys. Don't hesitate to ask all issues you may have. And actually, once again, a few words about tuition fee. So for the upcoming intakes, it's around 14,000 per year. And actually, you can choose what is the mode of payment. It's possible to pay once by unique payments. If not, you can choose the payment by 7 separate installments. It's quite practical, even for international students. And also, you can join our info session that we will organize next Monday, 16th of December. And we will organize this session with our colleagues from Student Services Department. And we will discuss all issues related to visa applications, housing, and actually how to organize your arrival in Monaco as quiet and as smooth as possible. And once again, to to focus your attention that now you have still the opportunity to apply for the January intake, and you can see all key data, key deadlines, so you can apply until 20th of December. And actually the intake is scheduled on 6th of January. We will have a few days like induction days, and then classes will start on 9th, next Monday, 9th of January. It's possible for students looking for the first or the second year. So it's possible even to make some transfer for the second year. You can contact us to get more detailed description of the procedure of transfer. Yeah. And last but not least, especially for young target audience that we have we are represented on all social platform, in all social media channels you can imagine. So I suppose that for you, the most important should be Instagram and TikTok. So don't hesitate. It's also good informational source for you with some testimonials, some video from students' life, some video from different students' event, and also with practical information regarding all our programs. Yeah,
Okay.
and now we can directly pass to the Q&A session. And as I can see, we already have already have a big, a huge list of questions. So so let me check the questions. The first one question: is the September intake 2025 already open for applications? Yes, the online platform is already open, so you can apply for the September 2025 intake, as well as for January 2025 intake. Yeah. Okay. Is it possible to know what is the average price to study in other countries during the second year?
Yes, so there is no tuition fee, so that's a question closed. But then you need to check, and we have a kind of a little guide for the students. What's the cost of living in this particular country? Some country will be very cheap, you know. We have some country where to rent a flat is 200 or 300 euro per month. Taiwan, for example, is one of those. And we have, you know, the campus in London where to rent a flat, it's very expensive. So it is, you know, open to your own budget. You have to choose your destination adequately as well. Looking at the budget is one of the criteria to choose the destination, in fact. So, but it's very various, in fact. But it's not the tuition fees, it's the living cost. Living cost is available in a lot of websites where you can compare your living cost with the living cost in this particular country.
Okay, thank you, Patrice. And the next one question: when is the cutoff for the application for September acceptance 25? Actually, we don't have any specific deadline for the application, but it's better to keep in your mind the end of July. And for international students, it's better even to think a little bit in advance and to keep, you know, as minimum 4, better 5 months for all other administrative procedures. I mean, visa applications, and also just to have some time to find a housing and to sign a renting contract. So you can apply already now for the September intake, and then not to be in the hurry, in the rush with other administrative procedures. And the next one question is about do we have dormitory, and actually how we can help international students to find a housing.
Yes, so we have a student services department here at IUM. So as soon as you are accepted at IUM, we are going to contact you, in fact, and starting sharing with you, you know, various information. We don't have in-house dormitory here, but we have, you know, of course, the student services that will help you, you know, finding your apartment because they develop their own network of, you know, private owners, student dormitory, but maybe in another city, which is you know, somewhere where you can apply. So you are not alone. As soon as you are accepted and you accept the offer, then people here will be you know, accompanying you throughout the reallocation journey, which is not something easy, and we are definitely aware of that. That's why we have people dedicated to that.
Thank you, Patrice. And the next one question is related to our diploma. What exactly could you please precise what is the degree, bachelor degree? Is it international relations and political science, or it's some kind of other diploma?
The diploma is in business management. Okay, so we are covering management field needed to run a business. International relations and political science is maybe one course of the program, but it's not the degree in international relations. The degree is in business administration.
Okay, thank you very much. And the next one question, it's for me, I think, because it's about how many time do we have after the admissions and the confirmation that the profile has been validated and the person has been admitted. So usually after the official notification by our side that you successfully passed the interview and the jury, you will have 2 weeks, 15 days to confirm your seat in the class by paying an advance payment or to change your final decision. So 2 weeks, you will have 2 weeks. Okay, the next question is is about some rights for local, I mean European students and international students. Do we have some kind of specific conditions, some preferences for European students in comparison with international?
No. So the only advantage you have is that if you are Schengen, you don't need to go through the visa process, and that's already a big advantage for you. And then you don't have to go apply for a permis de séjour.
We can also add as some of additional benefit or advantages. We do have some additional financial conditions for local people. I mean, Monegasque, who has citizenship in Monaco, and also for residents. So people having residency permit here in Monaco. Voila. So the next one question is about the international experience during the second year. Are students allowed to get some job abroad in other countries?
It depends the country, your visa, it depends. Yes, by definition, normally, yes. Our American students that maybe go back to study in the United States for one term, they can work because they are Americans. If you, I don't know, Victoria, if you are a French student, you have to apply for a visa. This visa should allow you to be, applying to student jobs there. It depends on a lot of criteria. If it's in Europe, it's easy. If you're European, you can navigate and you can have a little job somewhere. Definitely, yes. If you go to Seoul, from here for one term, you need to ask our student services department to see if you can work, or ask our students that are coming back from Seoul to see what was exactly their status. I cannot tell you right now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Patrice. And the next question is once again about the accreditation and the diploma recognition. If the IUM diploma is recognized at the international arena, and
Yes.
especially in Canada.
Yeah, there is no problem for that. The University of Monaco has the visa of the government. That means that our diploma is signed and recognized by Monaco, the country. And then all the countries that are, let's say, recognizing Monaco as a normal country, which is the case for all the countries. Then we'll recognize what the country validates. So the visa, the diploma, is valid everywhere in the world, particularly in Canada, because we have this ACSB and AMBA accreditation, which is international accreditation for business school, which are very well known, particularly in Canada. So Concordia is a CSB as well, and AMBA like us. So we have the same type of recognition, even if the visa, our stamp is coming from Monaco, the country, and other stamps are coming from other countries. But yes, definitely, our bachelor students can jump into a master study in Canada without any problem, can go to work into a Canadian country, and the diploma is recognized. Yes, I have in mind one of our students, Steven, that is now working in banks in Canada, and he just got the bachelor from IUM, the 3-year degree bachelor, by the way. But there is the 4-year degree bachelor that may lead to additional, position and the masters as well. But yes, the answer of this question is definitely yes.
Actually, I think the last two questions. So the first questions is regarding hands-on experience. Could you cite some examples, some maybe give some cases of this practical-oriented hands-on experience? What does it mean for students? How it works?
But you mean in the pedagogy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hands-on experience in pedagogy means that maybe you will have to create a project with your classmates for the professor, but in fact you are delivering the project for one of his clients. So you have a professional coming to the class, and you have to do the academic job, but delivered, and understandable, and at the quality expected for delivering it in a professional way for a professional person. We have those, business plan competition, the one that took place. I have it in mind because it was last month. For the first year students, they had to prepare business plan competition in the challenge that we organized thanks to the Junior Economic Chamber here in Monaco. They had, for the day where they were working on it, they had a coach. The coach is an entrepreneur or is a professional coming from the job market. And then they had to deliver and defend their pitch of their business plan, their business idea in front of real people. So that's again another hands-on experience. And then those people that were in the challenge, the winner team particularly, is invited. It's tonight or it was yesterday night to a conference in Monaco where they are giving prizes to people. And those areas are full of professional people, business people that they can meet. This is, what we call an hands-on experience, for example.
Yeah. Amazing, great opportunities for students. And the last question is about scholarship. I can give some comments. So we do have merit-based scholarship, and this scholarship potentially could cover up to 10-15% of tuition fee for the first year of studies. And of course, this scholarship could be awarded for the best students showing best academic results and some great extracurricular activities, or maybe sports achievements, or some charity projects, etc., etc. So it depends on the general profile of the applicants. But actually, the final decision is made also, as always, by the commission, actually scholarship commission, represented by academic colleagues. And actually, the final question regarding some additional materials and informational materials. I would like to say that after the webinar, you will receive the specific email with all necessary links to the page with the application platform, and with the possibility to download some brochure and program outlines for the BBA program.
Perfect.
Thank you very much for coming, for your time, and for joining this webinar. Thank you for your questions. And once again, don't hesitate to contact us should you have additional questions, or you are also invited to join our info session next Monday, 16th of December at 3:30 p.m. Monaco time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice time, and goodbye to Luc that visited us from South Africa, and he's just say hello. It's Luc. So hello, Luc. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.